Yo, Palmer, it's Landon, your best student ever. So I'm going to be doing my presentation. Don't know how I'm supposed to show both my slides and the presentation, so I'll kind of just be reading my speech, what's the word, my script, and I'll be kind of just showing you the slides like this. Alright, so I've done the medical examiner, because I think they're pretty cool. How do I make it to the next slide? Alrighty, so the history of the medical examiner. Medical examiner was a position a long time ago around the Norman Conquest times of England. So around the year, I think it's 1066. And this time, well, they had their original name, which was the crowner, and shortly after, they were called the coroner. The coroner's still around. It's still a thing. It's just been kind of phased out by the medical examiner. Anyways, the responsibility of this position originally in England was to investigate all the weird, suspicious deaths going around town. And they had to report the findings to the person in charge, which is usually like a king, a duke, like the lord of the land. So basically how they got this job was they were a loyal knight to their lord, and that was the only real requirement, as long as they were loyal. So this meant that they made no medical, forensic, or legal knowledge. They didn't know that at all. They could just kind of be like, oh yeah, this guy was stabbed. That was basically how it went. Anyways, so that's what they would do. They'd go around, riding their horses, investigating suspicious deaths. Anyways, so there were some punishments, like some laws involving this guy. The first and big one was, if you don't notify the nearest coroner, crowner, of any suspicious weird deaths or deaths in general, it could result in fines for your town. Now you may be just like, oh yeah, well, people did that. But no, they wouldn't do that for some weird reason. They're like, oh yeah, there's a death. We might be fined. We're gonna go drag this dead body over to a different town, or we're gonna hide it in the nearby forest, because, logic. They can also get fines if the dead body wasn't found, like if that was found, but they didn't preserve it, and they didn't make any effort to preserve it. So I guess I get that dragging it to a different area. I already showed you, but I found this cool picture. So it's like them doing kind of like an autopsy, like some stands and skeletons. I don't really know. That is not my computer. There we go. Amazing. Sorry for my messy bookshelf. Alright, so now I got a little bit of history for the medical examiner in America. I included a funny picture and reminiscence of your slideshows. Alright, the history of America. So this system, the coroner system, was used up until like the mid to late 19th century. It was used for quite a bit. Anyways, it still kind of is, it's slowly being phased out by the medical examiner system. So this first really started getting serious around the late 1910s, where New York made the first medical examiner office, who employed doctors to, figure out why they died, because, doctors kind of know that stuff. So it makes sense why they were picked for this office. Anyways, over time, it has continued to grow, and now, roughly, according to some statistics I read during my research, roughly at least 50% of the population in the United States has access to these services. And that's around 200 jurisdictions. Anyways, from pictures and my little facts, we got this one. Oh no, I want to go back. I don't know what that is, an office from a movie. I just thought it looked neat. And then we got a little meme that says, we'll find out what's wrong with you through a procedure called an autopsy. And there's like a doctor and a little kid. Kid doesn't know what autopsy means, hence the joke. Alright, so now we need like what kind of education and background for the, I don't know, where's my notes? Give me 1 second, go back. Notes, I found them, don't worry. Alright, so anyways, the background for this position is that, well, you're gonna be in school for quite a bit. first most obvious step is you gotta be like, hey, you gotta finish high school. That's kind of important. Anyways, so once you get your degree, or your GED, so your next step is going to be going to a college, like Slick, or just any college in general. You just need a 4-year degree, and a pre-medical track, preferably, and you want to major into science, so it's going to make life, much, much easier. Anyways, and after that, you want to make a medical school application that sounds and looks amazing. And you give away another 4 years of your life after the 4 years of college to get through medical school. And you have to make sure you get good grades, and then during and after medical school, you must take the USMLE, which is this big test you got to take to get your licensing and stuff. Anyways, so now you got to do your residency. I think after that, which residency is like 3 years, and then at least for medical examiners it is. And then you kind of do another residency, but that's just a medical examiner fellowship where you kind of just do the job, but you have a partner. Anyways, so once this, bam, medical examiner. And now for awesome pictures, we've got a morgue. Anyway, to make it short, the medical examiner, whoever performed your autopsy is fired. I thought this is cool because for fingerprinting, I didn't know this, and I don't know if you did. If they it would be harder to fingerprint someone that's dead. They will take the fingers off, the skin of the top of the fingers, and then they would put that over their gloves, and then that's how they would do it. Well, Dawson takes the print, and then there's like an Epstein meme. Alright. Oh, this one's easy. Alright. Medical examiners. I couldn't really find one statistic that, nails how much they make. I think it kind of just depends on state, which I should have looked at it for you, talking about what I think about it. Anyways, so what I found for the low point for them is you get $30,000 a year, which is not a lot at all. But then at the highest end, I found $260,000 a year. So it's a $230,000 difference, but those are the extremes. So I couldn't find like most jobs, you can usually find like a perfect, oh yeah, they make $40,000 a year. So this is the tough part, because the average salary, some sources said 50,000-ish, others said 70,000, and some others said 100,000. At the most, it usually varied between 70 and 100,000, with 99 kind of being the most used one, but I wasn't quite sure, so I included them all. Anyways, so to make more money, you would obviously need to be in a better location, have more experience, schooling, and great employers who are going to pay you more. Alright, so these guys obviously have a ton of skills because, they kind of need them. So, some required skills that you're going to need for this position is being a good communicator, because, you want to make sure everything's going well and you don't mess up the dead body. So, you also got to learn how to plan things out involving these autopsies and such, and kind of how to think on your feet, because nobody's really the same, because you don't know what you're going to find. People do weird stuff all the time. So you need to know a lot of medical terms and criminal justice terms. That way you can perform the autopsy to determine why they die. You must, be able to be responsible, be able to work with a lot of stress, be able to handle working alone. That way you can do the best for your job. You're also going to need a really strong stomach. I don't know if that's a skill or not. So you may be wondering, why do you need to know criminal justice terms? Well, that ties into the correction system because, it ties into both the judicial and the corrections. I'll start with the judicial. Let me go one more slide. Oh, I lied. We're on duties. We'll cover that in a minute. Anyways, duties of a medical examiner. So they have a lot of cool, interesting duties. You can look at the pictures. You have to think. The biggest and most obvious one of their duties is autopsies, where they investigate how the dead died and all sorts of interesting stuff about that. Anyways, they help police collect evidence on scene and, by doing autopsies. And that way they can get more picture of what happened, when they go on scene. Anyways, how this ties into the judicial branch of the whole criminal justice system is that they appear in court a lot to provide, say what they think happened and talk about it. some of our duties is like cleaning and maintaining equipment. Where this ties into the correction system, like it's a little bit of a long shot, but they one of the big things they do is that when people in corrections obviously die, so they all die, the medical examiner like is immediately there. Like a police officer dies, medical examiner gets basically they get there first. To make sure everything goes all right, and they work a lot in prisons and jails, making sure there's no foul play. They're intertwined with the correction system in a way that it's not they're not doing a lot to keep people maintained, like rehabilitate people, but the more of the stuff they're doing is what they do as a job, but they do it for like the people in the correction system. Like you die, oh yeah, the medical examiner is going to get you. They also do death certificates. Anyways, there's some challenges to this position, like a lot. So the biggest one is you got to deal with a ton of stress because, well, you do the wrong stuff. Someone could go, like you might provide crappy evidence. Someone could get out of jail. They might go to jail and they don't deserve it. Some more like bigger challenges than that arguably is that you got to deal with dead bodies all day, right? And you got to see very gruesome stuff that's happened to them. So you're gonna need a really strong stomach, like I said earlier, because you're playing instead of a dead body. The schooling is extremely intense, and there's a chance you're not gonna be the best paid. Oh, perfect. Here's my correction slide. Let's see what I said. I'm gonna go back. Yeah, the biggest and most meaningful way they help is that when a death happens in jail or prison, the medical examiner figures out who this is as soon as possible, figure out the why went in there and who died. So they're more tied into like the judicial system and like the investigation stages, but they're still present in the corrections because they're like, if somebody dies in corrections, they kind of need to know why and when. So it's a little bit of a long shot, like I said, but hey, it's part of it. Anyways, my opinion on this is that I do want to go in the medical field and be a doctor. I don't think a medical examiner is just like, I don't want to deal with living people. Like, I know I'm going to deal with stuff I don't like, but I don't really feel like, sticking around in dead bodies and such. It does not sound like my cup of tea. Like, I'm sure it's a rewarding job and you're helping out a ton of people and doing the job no one wants to really do. But like I said, what I'm looking for, pay is, I want to be paid more, honestly. But I honestly bet they have fun in their own twisted, entertaining way. Alright, see ya. This is 13 minutes long, so